What's up everyone, it's Ventus, and this is the beginning of a new series for Don't Starve. Gonna do a Shipwrecked run of Wigfrid. This is actually the second take, I guess you could call it, of this run. I started a run a while ago, but what happened was they released a patch. So I thought it would be kind of strange if midway through the series there were distinct differences, like visual differences between like the first few episodes and the next couple episodes and onward. So I decided to just remake the whole series. Starting from scratch, this is a new Wigfrid game. I guess I'll just repeat what I said in the previous one because it's not being uploaded. Wigfrid is going to be a totally new character, mainly because she has different issues to deal with in the early game. My playstyle especially is centered around eating a ton of seaweed. You eat seaweed, you wander around, and that's your main source of food. But Wigfrid can't do that because she can only eat meat. And I guess I'm gonna try. I had pretty good success in that. I guess you could call it a test run. I had pretty good success, but a lot of it must be focused on gathering resources for the second season. Basically, the Woodlegs run, I had a lot of issues in the Hurricane season because I decided to just fool around for way too long. I was having so much fun just finding treasures and wandering around through the ocean because I had a boat in the early game that could do so many things. In this game, it's going to be different because this is just a normal character except for her hunger needs, and that's going to be a problem, as you'll see very soon. A majority of the food will be from monster meat, jellyfish, and the like. Basically, her food options are extremely limited, and she'll have to suffer a lot of sanity. So I'm going to be rushing the armor boat and research as soon as I can, and this will probably be a difficult run. Just want you to see that everything is default settings. I just like playing on default settings. I don't like doing whatever nonsense. So this is just normal. Everything's the same. I mean, you could see right here. It just says shipwrecked. If you change anything, it says custom. Uh oh. Yeah. Okay. So if you change anything at all, it even switches this to custom. But we're on default, so there's no custom. And yeah, I guess I'll get started. Alright. Wigfrid. So I'm actually going to be doing something a little different than the Woodlegs one for sure. I'm going to be hoarding a lot of items. So as you can see, Wigfrid starts with her battle spear, battle helm, and a bunch of meat. It's because she is a carnivore, she cannot eat vegetables. I guess she can't eat non-meat things. Aside from that, though, her early game is exactly the same. You just pick up as much as you can from your immediate surroundings. Go along the edges, explore the island. When you're done, move on. But when I say I'm going to hoard items, I'm going to need a lot, I mean a lot, of wood. A lot of logs. The reason for this is because I want to make an armored boat as soon as I can. And because you're going to need a lot anyway. That's why I'm also picking up these shells as well. So in the previous little test run, oh, I should actually talk about what changed, huh? So if you look here, this little shipwreck thing pops up when you highlight it, when you press tab, and this thing is there. Yeah, I thought that it would be strange if I had a game where like halfway through it changed. I mean, I wasn't even that far into the run, honestly, the recording. But it'd be weird if it's like, oh, all of a sudden you see something different visually on the screen. It might be... Oops, I should have picked that up. It might be kind of strange for the viewers, so that's why I decided to just do a clean run. They fixed a bunch of stuff too, and yeah, I might as well just do this. Other resources I need a lot of, probably twigs, of course. Twigs, grass. You always need twigs and grass. It's to go without saying that you need a ton of these items, especially if you're going to accelerate the early game and just focus on gathering a ton of items. I think for the next day or so, I'm actually going to stay on this island. I like to move around as much as I can and explore as much as I can, but I personally think that I should be spending more time on this island. And I think that also includes gathering rocks, but I don't want to gather these rocks because they don't give me gold. I want gold the most. If I don't find any gold, then sure, I'll mine these rocks, but at the moment I'm pretty good on rocks. Well, flint. I'm not good on rocks. 20 cut grass. It may not seem like this is Like, it may seem like this is a lot, but it's actually not. Because if you think about it, you need, I think, what is it? 9? 9, yeah. You need 9 of them to make the armored boat. You need a couple of them for your fire stuff, so you need this, that's 3. You need this, that's 2. You need this. Oh, that's not actually grass. What is it? Oh, you need this, right. Endothermic fire, you don't need it, but I like to have it around. That's just a personal preference of mine. So you need all those things. And I think having about 40 of them is probably a good idea. I would have kept it at 10, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to make 2 armored boats. 1 pre-built and 1 regular. So let's see, let's make one of these for now. Also, let's make one of these. I always say this in the early game, I always say this in general, don't make a machete. If you ever find yourself wanting to make a machete, just slap yourself and say no. Just don't do it. Do yourself a favor and don't make a machete. I've always talked about how bad of an item it is. It's still a terrible item. Until they change it so that it takes less resources than 3 flint. Until they change it to where they it doesn't actually take 6 chops to kill 1 bamboo, it's going to be a terrible item. If they increase the base damage back to 34 again, then maybe it might be... No, actually no. No. It'll just be like it was before. Wow, this is actually a pretty good island. This starting island is actually quite good. It has a lot of resources that I like. A lot of resources to gather. It's a pretty big island. I'm looking at the bees right now as one of the resources that I like, by the way. You're gonna need a lot of bees because you want to make bee boxes to make honey ham in the future. You don't really need taffy, but there are other items as well that could be interesting to make. Okay, let's see. Do I want to hammer these down right now? I'm running low on running low on inventory space right now. I guess not. This might actually be a mistake, not hammering down these right now. You don't need them though. It's just like set pieces in ROG. I always say this in ROG as well. I kind of went off on a tangent. I'll go back to the machetes in a second. But basically, set pieces are the pre-generated items that appear on the map, and they're usually located like scattered across the entire world, and you have to kind of look for them to actually find them. But most of the time, they don't yield anything interesting for the early game. They yield items that are okay in the mid to late game, but that's not really your focus at the moment, is it? If you're on day 1, your focus is not to focus, obviously, not to worry about the mid game and the late game at the moment. It's to worry about your first season and how you're going to transition into the second season, basically. That should be your focus. I gathered too many, but I'm actually going to have a couple used up in a little bit. Alright, where's the axe? I'm going to focus on cutting down large trees only. I'm going to need, I think, 3 stacks of logs. It seems ridiculous, but trust me, I need them. And hopefully I get some snakes. I always say when you're chopping down trees in the early game, don't chop down these trees. They don't give you anything good. They give you the coconut, but ever since they changed it so coconuts require a machete to chop, it just isn't worth it at all. Because you don't want to make a machete. You don't want to waste it on a coconut, especially because coconuts are garbage. Just chop down the jungle trees. You get eggs. You get bananas. You get snakes, which can drop monster meat. Monster meat and eggs, Wigfrid can use. Bananas are good for every other character, especially Wilbur. But you can also use bananas to lure in monkeys. So there's a reason for Wigfrid to pick up bananas as well. It's not just an item that's completely garbage for her. You still need it. Or it's still nice to have. So 15 chops for these. And then if I hit one of these, the other snakes are going to assist. So I need to be aware of that. Wigfrid is actually pretty good at maintaining her sanity in the early game because she gets sanity back whenever she kills something based on the enemy's attack. And also because I'm picking up all the shells, which usually I don't recommend you doing, she actually can sustain much better by doing this. Like crazy better. Uh-oh. I don't want my I don't want to lose my monster meat. I'm gonna take a hit here. I don't have any inventory space right now, but I want to keep that monster meat because I actually need it. Wow, that's a lot of monster meat. That's really lucky. Let's make this. That clears up my inventory. Does it? Oh yeah, it does. Oh no! Did I lose an egg? Oh crap. Oops, I took an extra hit. I'm gonna actually make a fire tonight. Am I? Nah, I'm not. It's not worth it. I'm gonna drop these as well. I should plant them, actually. Yeah, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna explore this entire area, this little strip. And then I'll lose sanity, but it's okay to lose sanity in the early game because you're gonna regain it anyway in the future. And that's because when you prototype items, you gain back 15 sanity per prototype. And in the early game, you do a lot of prototyping. For Wigfrid, I think I'm gonna be prototyping a lot faster than most characters. And combined with the fact that she's actually really good at maintaining your sanity, a lot of sanity will probably go to waste. As opposed to other runs that you may have seen me play, where I have like 20 sanity at like day 6, day 7. Oh, there are spiders here. I gotta be careful. Spiders are a good source of monster meat too, so I'm gonna be carrying that around. Monster meat will actually lower your sanity as well. So actually, that's gonna be the way I make more efficient use of, I guess, sanity regen. Alright, good. Good, good, good. Okay, so if there's an item that I need to get rid of, it's probably the banana right now. Or actually, no, the egg is good. Alright, how am I doing on resources? Let's see. It's so cool how this appears now. I don't know if this is from Don't Starve Together because I don't play multiplayer. Any items that I'm going to be dropping soon? Let's see. This one is one. This one is another. I do want to keep this though, so maybe not in that order. This is the first thing to go. This is the second thing to go because this one I can consume. This one I can't consume. This is the third thing to go because I don't need this yet. What is the fourth thing to go? I guess it is the doubloons afterwards. I am at 7 logs at the moment, which is definitely not good. It's very, very little at the moment. I said I needed 3 stacks. I guess 1 or 2 stacks will be fine for now. And I'll get the 3rd stack eventually, once I settle down. It's kind of a waste. I'm gonna make another axe as well. I want to be careful when you're clicking. So you may have noticed that my chopping speed went down a bit. That's because when I use spacebar to chop, it actually chops at a steady pace, like 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you're chopping by spamming click, it actually cancels your animation so that you chop faster. So this is spamming click, and then this is normal chopping. So you can see visually and you can hear that there is a difference in the chopping speed. If I chop this down, I'll have a perfect 0%, so this will disappear, but I want to chop down more trees and make another axe. So what I'm going to do is chop down this one, and I'm going to make another axe. Alright, I think I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good for now. Like, everything's looking pretty good, and yeah, I'm doing pretty well. The pace is good. So what was I talking about with the machete? Oh, okay. So every item that you can obtain with the machete, you can obtain with other items as well. Specifically, the shovel. So once you get the shovel, once you get a science machine, once you get the shovel afterwards, you'll be able to chop down or dig up bamboo if you need it. That's if you need it, but you really don't. because you don't want to use the bamboo early anyway. There's nothing for you to use it on. Like, think about it for a second. What exactly do you need bamboo and vines for? A rowboat? I guess, but why not just go for the armored boat? Why not just do what I'm doing right now and just rush for the armored boat? What's the difference, right? Well, technically the difference is huge, because the armored boat is way better, and the rowboat sucks. What are you going to use the vines on other than the armored boat? I mean, the rowboat. Right? Just gotta think about it for a second. The answer is like nothing. There's the life jacket, and that's basically it. So you should not use it for vines. Bamboo is a little bit better. Bamboo is a little bit better because you can actually make some cool items out of them. You can make the cloth sail, but the cloth sail is very bad in the early game because it's hard to sustain. You don't have access to a sewing kit, and even if you get one early, you only have one sewing kit. And the cloth sail deteriorates so fast, you might as well just use the snakeskin sail because it lasts for a longer period of time. When you can actually sustain yourself with repair kits and stuff, then that's when you should use the cloth sail. But by then, I feel like by then you should be able to make other sails. Like the Doi Doi sail, the Iron Wind, right? So, you don't really... Damn it, why is it dropping it instantly? I don't get it. Maybe I'm clicking too fast. Okay, so I have 20% left on my axe. I can chop a big one and a small one, or I can chop two medium ones. I'll chop a big one and a small one, I guess. Big one is 15%, the medium one is 10%, the small one is 5%. So 15 plus 5 is exactly 20. Perfect. Now I'm done with this island. I have 2 stacks almost of logs. I have it pre-built. Now I'm going to make a raft. And I've decided I'm going to go up. Arbitrarily decided, I guess, because it doesn't really matter. I don't have information about the map right now. Because I have 0 information, it doesn't really matter which direction I go. Unless I run into this area here, which is the deeper water. The moment you run into the deeper water, you want to move away from it. Why? Because when you see this kind of water, chances are there's going to be even deeper water past it. That's just how it works, the pattern of the map. And in the early game, you're looking for islands to explore, right? Well, this area has 0% chance of being an island. 0. If you see shallow water, that's where you'll find islands. Shallow water tells you that there's an island or a coral reef nearby, usually. Like 90% accuracy. Unfortunately, it seems like I picked the wrong way, but that's just RNG. I picked this way. It didn't really matter which direction I picked, because I have 0 information about the surrounding area. So I could have gotten lucky, but I didn't. This is actually really bad. I'm gonna kill some jellyfish. This is really bad because nighttime is coming and I want to be on land during nighttime, so I may have to go back to this island. Jellyfish will sustain me. Wow, I got lucky with drops in this run compared to the previous one, but I got unlucky with location, I guess. So I circled all the way around here with a really bad boat, a really slow boat, and I have nothing to show for it. So this is bad. This is actually very, very bad. Essentially, I wasted like a quarter of a day doing nothing. There is a chance, though, that this island is a solo island. A very low chance. In your starting island, the starting area, usually there are islands nearby. I believe that's just how it works. From my experience, that's how it works. And I picked the wrong direction. So if I went this way, maybe I would have continued on with shallow water and found an island by now. But unfortunately, no, that's not what happened, and I got screwed. So I'm going to have to stop by the original island again. I could flicker on the boat, like you could do this to flicker on the boat. It's like triple tapping, stop, triple tap. But if I screw up, I may get myself killed. So that's not good. And there's an excuse for me to make a fire right now because I actually need to cook stuff and eat. So whenever you're going to make a fire, make sure you do it by resources that you can gather. I don't need this stuff anymore because I have a full stack. I don't have the inventory to support it. I don't have an axe for this. So there actually aren't that many areas for me to be in, except for this one, I guess. I'm assuming I didn't pick all the plants, did I? Ah, crap. Well, if that's the case, then I'll just have to drop it here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the monster meat instead. I don't mind losing sanity, I don't mind losing health, because I'll gain it back eventually. Alright, so I guess I'll just pick... I see some twigs nearby, so I can pick these. That's what I need. I'll be at 19. And then I want to cook as much as I can, basically. Any item that I can cook, I'll cook, except for the bananas. The limpets I'll cook, the jellyfish I'll cook. Calamari. The meat I will cook. And I'm going to consume the item that takes up the least inventory, or takes up the most inventory space, I guess? What I mean by this is the most efficient use of inventory space. So I can't eat monster meat because I can't finish all 8 pieces. I can't finish... I guess I could. Can I? This is like 20, isn't it? It's like 15, 18, something like that. 20? 21? 25? Okay, 15 to 25. I can't remember the exact value. But she only has 120 hunger, so... I think I could use this all up, but I'm going to use up the jellyfish. That's the answer. Because the jellyfish will not heal me to full. And then I'm probably going to use the limpets or the monster meat.